This is long-winded because it's everything that's in my head. No TLDR because I'm not smart enough to figure out how to write one out of all this crap. I need to get this off my chest as I don't know what else to do, so I'm putting it out into the internet universe. I'm not looking for help, I'm not seeking sympathy because I frankly put myself into this position. I'm thinking that maybe if I type this all out and get it out of my head I may find some peace. Maybe I can find a way to forgive myself, or maybe it can be used as an example of how not to live your life. Maybe it's another futile effort in a long line of shit in my life, I truly don't know. Some background: I recently turned 69 years old. Nice, I made it, boys. I've never felt my age. People are always surprised when I tell them my age. I've always felt and thought younger, and at times I still act like a dumbass 12-year-old, hence my above comment. I've been married and divorced twice, have 2 amazing adult kids from my first marriage, 5 grandkids, and recently became a great-grandpa for the second time. It's all so surreal. My first marriage ended badly. I was a 20-something selfish asshole. I cheated on my wife multiple times. I basically partied while Dee raised our kids. I was young and stupid and only thought about getting my dick wet. I own what I was. I own what I put my wife and kids through. I own being a massive piece of shit. I can't go back in time and change the asshole I was. I can only move on and try to be better. About 8 years into the marriage, I came home from partying with friends one weekend to find flowers on our dining room table. I asked my wife who they were from, and she said they were from B. I could tell by the way she said his name that it was serious. I asked if she wanted to be with him. She said yes. I left. I've always been one who believes that when someone wants to be with someone else, you just move on. No drama, no arguments, just go. Deep down I think I knew it was going to happen because of the terrible fucker I was at the time. Frankly, looking back, I'm surprised it took her so long. I've always worked hard to provide for my wife and kids. That never stopped. We went to a lawyer and set up the divorce. I couch surfed because I couldn't afford my own place with paying child support and alimony. After the divorce was final, I went on a 6-month drinking binge. I worked 10-hour days. I would get off work, came home, get cleaned up, eat, and hit the bar till closing. 7-days.a.week for the 6 months. Being the massive asshole I was at the time, I drove drunk every night. I'm lucky I didn't kill anyone. I never missed a day of work, always paid my bills, and I hung with my kids as often as possible. One morning at the end of this 6-month bender, I woke up to my work alarm, went to splash water in my face and didn't recognize the person in the mirror. I audibly said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Drinking for the next year. I ended up falling into a deep depression and felt pretty lost, and internally was hating myself for the massive piece of shit I had become and for blowing up my family and everything I cared about. I was finally making enough money to pay my bills and afford my own apartment. One night I sat on the edge of my bed with a loaded revolver in my hand. I sat for a while, feeling like I would start crying any moment but couldn't. I've never been able to shed tears as an adult. Tears well up in my eyes, but that's it. I cocked the pistol and sat waiting to get up the nerve check out of this self-inflicted hell I sent myself to. Then my thoughts turned to my children. The thoughts of them living with the memory of what I was about to do saved my life. I put the gun away and moved on. Fast forward a few years, I'm working a new job, making better money. Ex is married and moved about an hour away with the kids, and I drive out to take them for a few hours on the weekends. One day at work, this cute blonde named Dee locked her keys in her car. One of my crew was trying to unlock the door. I come out and said, "I got this." I popped the door and she was on her way. To say I fell in love at first sight is an understatement. I have never felt this way about another person. My world got brighter and more vivid when she was around. It's like colors were deeper and fuller. The room lit up when she walked in. Cliché, I know. I felt like I heard a song playing when she was around. The song sounded so familiar, yet I couldn't put my finger on the tune. It was soothing, it was mesmerizing, and I heard it every single time she was around. Since she worked for the same company as me and I knew she wouldn't be interested in someone like me, I kept all my feelings to myself. We would talk a bit, but it was all superficial. I thought I put up a good front and she didn't have a clue I liked her. One night I had a softball game near the area where she lived. Unbeknownst to me, she came by to watch the game and left a note on my car letting me know she was there. I was floored. We started spending lunch together, had long talks about life and everything. I was heading to see my kids on the weekend, and Dee asked to come with. I was over the moon. We picked up the kids, went to the movies, ate, had ice cream, and generally had a blast. When we arrived back at my apartment after, I kissed her for the first time. It was magical. I fell hard. Through all this time I ignored all the red flags. I was a dumb love-struck teenager at 36 years old.